Hello everyone, this is my Singer 648 and it is a touch and sew that people like to call a touch and throw because it has those nylon gears on the inside. I am not getting rid of this machine, however, because it belonged to my maternal grandmother and it lasted her until the 90s when the gears wore out. This machine was forgotten and thrown in a closet somewhere, but today I'm not going to replace the gears with nylon gears off Amazon. I am going to actually replace them with metal gears from a Singer 600. And this 600 here does of course have all metal gears, but it is beat to heck and really not worth fixing up at this point. So for that reason, I am using it as a donor machine. I actually got this machine off of Goodwill online for 25 bucks, and I think it was a fairly good deal for what I'm going to be using it for. I am looking on the inside of the machine now and have recently put kerosene on here to help clean out the machine because it's really dirty. Normally I would not want to get kerosene on my Bakelite, but I did it on this machine because I don't plan on keeping it. There are some metal gears in here that I want for my own sewing machine project, so that's why I purchased this machine. And no, I do not think that this machine is a really functioning machine because I see the evidence of it all over the machine itself. So I see that a lot of the screws are worn in the areas where the gears are. So I think that someone tried to do some work on this machine and gave up on it. Also, I see that this was an exchanged model. It was exchanged in 1965, which was a very long time ago. Also, I noticed that this is all burned. The bottom part of this machine is all burnt. Obviously, before I can even get to working on my grandmother's machine, I first have to work on the 600E to tear it down and take it apart so that I could get the parts that I needed for the machine. This is going to be in a multi-part series, so here we go. I am taking off the front cover of the machine right here, and if you notice, I'm having some difficulty. I don't have that much strength in my hands, so this project was extremely difficult for me, probably the most difficult that I have ever done because I've never torn a machine down to this degree. I have probably 3.5 hours worth of footage just from the teardown of the 600E, and I am not going to torture you with all that footage, y'all. But what I am going to do is show you the basis of what I have done, and it is in a multi-part video. So right here, I am basically taking off the front cover of the machine, and of course the top cover has to be removed along with the bottom cover. Once you've removed all of the covers on the sewing machine, you'll want to turn it on its side and then remove the cover that I have circled there. And behind that cover, you will find where the wires connect to the motor. Just disconnect that and then turn the sewing machine up on its right side and lightly tap the worm gear. And the motor will simply slide out from the bottom of the machine. This isn't a very difficult task to do on any sewing machine that has all metal gears and a motor with all metal housing, but on some of the later model sewing machines like what you're going to see in future videos, it is extremely difficult to remove that motor when the housing to the motor is plastic instead of metal, but I digress. Once your motor has been removed for the machine, then you will want to remove the hand wheel, and there is a small screw behind there that allows you to access the hand wheel. And I must mention that while I was working on doing this task, I was listening to a video here on YouTube from Godfrey Hinton, which is the godfather of AI, speaking about all of the advancements, and that stuff is real scary, and you should probably go and check it out. So this is what the teardown is looking like so far. And I did go ahead and take off the black cover that's on the very front of the machine. It's just held on by 2 screws. I didn't show that on camera, but anyhow, please do stay tuned for part 2 of the teardown, and I'll catch you on the next one.